That was for Ann.
No, that was for you.
This is for both.
I feel like I'm hidden behind here. You know, like remember that old thing from the 70s? You know, where's Kilroy? I feel like that right here. Like, behind here, but you guys can see well from here up, so that's good enough. And on Twitter, I'm just this big, so you know you actually get more of me here. Anyway, so yes, thank you, and I'm thrilled to be here today. To thank you, Brian. This is really awesome. We're going to be talking about the future of website visitor engagement, and as Brian said, we've got 4 panelists who are super smart and are going to share their thoughts with you. The Twitter hashtag is actually EngageM. And they've assured me that they're going to be very soundbitey. Thank you, CK, for that term. So there'll be plenty to tweet, so please tweet. The way it's going to work is I'm going to give you just a quick introduction to each of these guys. They're going to share their thoughts with you about website visitor engagement, kind of some of the major themes and points that they want to talk about. And then we're going to do some questions for me, and then hopefully open it up to questions from you guys. So, okay, and hopefully I can. Okay, and there's Brett in person and there.
Introduce myself?
Yes, please, go ahead.
Sure. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Brett Zucker. I'm the Chief Technology Officer for Bridgeline Digital. A couple of things. First off, I am from New York, and I'm a Yankee fan, so I apologize to everyone here. First off.
I'm from New York, and I'm a Red Sox fan. It balances.
So, in terms of my role, as Brian mentioned, we have our IAPS product suite, so I'm the visionary behind our IAPS products, which I think everyone has some information. I appreciate the enthusiasm, Myles. And, the first bullet up here that I've learned everything about web engagement based on phishing. Now, that could be thought of in one of 2 ways. Number one is I don't phish. So either I don't know what I'm talking about, or it's actually that easy to make an analogy to phishing in that bait, hook, and catch model that everyone can understand it. And I think we'll talk hopefully more about the latter than the former. But I appreciate your time today.
Are you going to talk about your other points there too?
Sure.
Okay.
I could spend all day, actually. So from my perspective, I think I take, from at the panelist level, more of a technology role and perspective. And for me, I look at the biggest change from a web engagement perspective is that it's not anything that is revolutionary right now, right? People have always looked at that bait, right? SEO, pay-per-click, email campaigns, advertising, offline campaigns, all of these different baits, right? And you want to understand what the drivers are to get them to your website. And once they're at their website, you're using that technology to engage with them. Right? That's the hook. How do I drive that persuasive content? How do I use technology? And then the catch is, what do I want them to do? Do I want them to make a purchase, register for a seminar, download a white paper, whatever it is? And so I think that bait, hook, and catch metaphor really does hold true here. And from a technology standpoint, I look at it as we now have tools that marketers can be empowered to use themselves. Usability is now there, right? The underlying technology of sharing information across previously disparate systems is now there. Emails, SEO, can talk to content management systems, can talk to commerce applications, can talk to analytics applications. All of these pieces can talk behind the scenes without marketers having to know what page tagging means, without marketers having to know how are we going to tag content. What does that mean, right? They want to know what is working, how it's working, and technology, to me, from a usability and implementation perspective, has reached a point where marketers can do it on their own. And so from my perspective, that's how I look at the future of web engagement management.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, thank you, Brett. Next up is CK.
Hi there, I'm Christina Kerley, but for as long as I can remember, everyone is just shortened to CK, so I built a brand around it. Most of my work is in B2B marketing, so in businesses selling to businesses or targeting business professionals. I work directly with clients as well as teach, whether at events like this or at Rutgers University as an MBA professor, evolving their students from traditional marketing into this brave new world of social and mobile. And when we're looking at engagement, I mean, one thing we need to look at is whether we're at home, at work, at the grocery store, on the beach, our media, thanks to social and mobile, now moves with us. So when we're talking about how we engage our target audiences, we're looking at engaging them in the physical world, like we're doing right here with networking, as well as their online worlds. And when you talk about this media and engaging, we're looking at half the entire planet. That's 3.4 billion people owning mobile devices. And they spend half their day, thanks to social and mobile platforms, consuming media. That's engaged. I mean, in the Super Bowl, we're happy when 15 million people sit down for 3 hours, and advertisers claim 1 to 2 million for a 30 to 60-second spot. So we're in revolutionary times right now where we're redefining how we engage, at which points during the day, and in physical and online worlds. Other things I wanted to talk about was how as marketers we're evolving. It's not always be selling, it's always be helping. Why? When we're solving problems, when we're identifying needs, introducing new benefits, we're engaging our target audiences. And so it's really done a reversal from where we were 10, 15, 20 years ago. And all the tools that we have. We're just at the beginning of understanding an explosion of new tools with social and mobile. So we have more choice than ever before. That enables us to have an entire, I guess, an ecosystem of engagement. How we choose what we use to engage our audiences, what they're comfortable with, and how that all brings back to what you were talking about with usability, with the core website, with conversion. It's opportunity, it's also a lot of challenge. So that's part of what I hit on every day and here for the next hour with you all.
Okay, great. Thank you, CK. Okay, next up, Myles.
My name's Myles. That was the easy part. So the first thing I wanted to know, to say is that knowing your audience is the best antiperspirant. It's basically, you need to know who you're talking to and how they prefer to hear from you. When you understand them well enough, then you have an opportunity to find success. When you kind of just throwing spaghetti against the wall, you may find yourself needing to change your shirt. So influencing influencers trumps convincing decision makers. Social media has provided an opportunity for us as marketers to talk to the folks that are talking to the individuals that purchase from us. So one example, I'll use my family. My wife, also a New Yorker and a Yankees fan, so we have trouble at home. Life insurance in our family was something that she wanted to have for me. Now, that's a product that I'm going to buy, but I'm not in charge at home. So she picks what I get to buy. My car went through the wife test, and so with whatever the product is, whether it's B2C or in a B2B example, there are influencers that you can educate and inform that then will teach the decision maker with some credibility why you might be the right choice for them. And so that's something important that's expanded our ability as marketers to talk to the folks that are talking to the ones that ultimately decide. Users have goals. Help them complete their mission. So most websites, when I started early in, it was 1993, it was all text-based, direct dial modems. You hit menu item 1 you hit 1 on the keyboard for menu item 1 and so forth. I learned usability from those days. And so over time, as the world was rushing to what we do, usability was often about the goals of the company. We were talking about what we were trying to drive them to that white paper, or driving them to sales, because that's ultimately what we wanted. But the users have goals, and ultimately, they are visiting probably because they want to buy what you have, but they also need to be educated and informed and trust you. And now we can educate and inform folks through multiple channels. So the bait, if you will, from the fishing analogy, is that there's different things that different audiences want. And so what we need to do is identify the audience and lead them to the piece that they're looking for. And but once they know, like, and trust you and understand what you have to offer, what your differentiators are, then they will potentially purchase. And usability, that's underlying engagement of the user. And last is being good at marketing means you need to be the best at measuring. It's something that I go around the halls of our agency every day talking about. There's a benchmark available on how effective you are today, whether you're measuring inbound marketing, social media, mentions, hits to the website, or sales, which is what everyone actually wants. And if you can measure it, then you can prove its validity. Otherwise, it's the spaghetti against the wall aspect. Did we move our target audience closer to us with this program that we've done? And so underneath everything is, if you can measure it, you're on your way to being a good marketer.
That's great. Okay. Thank you, Myles.